morning. Good morning. What day of the week is it? There we go. We're live there. We're live on YouTube. Let's check YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Alright, good morning. It is Thursday. Yeah, I gotta check the calendar. It is Thursday the 6th of March, January, February, March. Ay. Been up for an hour, but it doesn't feel like it. Good morning. It is Thursday, March 6th, 2025. And my name is Keith, and this is Dev Jobs Daily. Welcome to the stream. We are here Monday through Friday, typically 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, as a place to hang out while you're putting out job applications. That's the goal of this stream. My name is Keith. I've been a professional developer, programmer for over 30 years, and currently I'm managing a coding school. And that coding school helps a lot of people break into the industry, upskill, and get better at their trade, many of which are either unemployed, changing careers, recently laid off, and they're out in the job market. That job market market's pretty tough these days. It's been tough for a while. It's a little better than it was 6 months ago. Maybe a fair amount, a significant amount better than it was 6 months ago, but still not great. So the challenge of being in the job search is staying consistent, getting up every day, getting out those job applications, spending your time wisely in the job search. And I started this stream as a way to help those who struggle with consistency, to have a buddy to hang out with, a pal, somebody to check in with every day. As I said, normally we stream for 1 hour, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time at 8 a.m. starting. But we're in a different place right now because I broadcast live from Austin, Texas. And in Austin, Texas, in March of every year, we have the South by Southwest series of festivals, but including the Interactive Festival, the South by Southwest Interactive Festival, which is the largest tech festival, certainly in this part of the country, but it's one of the maybe top 3 tech conferences in the United States. It's become very popular over the last 20-something years. I should probably know that. I spoke on panels at the first South by Southwest Interactive many years ago. But it's going on. It's kicked off yesterday. Not the Interactive Festival, that starts on Friday, tomorrow. But one of the other festivals as part of the group kicked off yesterday. So for the next 9 days, this is going to be just a 30-minute stream. Still going to kick off at 8 a.m. every morning. But yesterday, as soon as the stream was done, I got in my truck as a matter of fact, and headed north to downtown, and went to the convention center, walked around the convention floor, saw a couple of interesting things. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed with EDU this year. It was the smallest turnout in terms of the number of booths at the convention that maybe I've ever seen. It's tough times out there. Even worse, because we got an announcement yesterday they want to shut down the Department of Education. So budgets in education are going to be struggling a little bit more. That's okay. Who needs the next generation? Who needs it? I have a kid in college and a senior in high school, so our days with public education are pretty much behind us. But, investing in the future, what's the point of that if we can boost our short-term stock numbers, which also aren't happening right at the moment? Aye, aye, aye. 30 minutes today. 25 more. Speaking of South by Southwest, I'm plugging for the last couple of days an app that I have built to help you find all the free things going on during South by Southwest in the town of Austin and all the way up to Round Rock, as it turns out, which is north of Austin if you're not familiar. I've got 100, I don't remember the count, I've got over 150 events in there. They're going to be taking place over this 10-day period. Some just kicked off at the same time as the stream. And they're going all day today. Again, these are mostly education-based, while the educational conference is going on. But as we roll into Friday, we'll see the kickoff of South by Southwest interactive events, and Saturday we see a ton of events. I mean, at one point I think there's 40 concurrent events going on for South by Southwest, and you can find them here on this app that I've created. There are other people who have done a great job of collecting these events, and they keep them in Google spreadsheets. There's a couple of them that are kind of floating around right now, and they've been doing these for years, and they're great, except for it's just a Google sheet with some dates and times and addresses on them. But when you're kind of bouncing around town, I was like, what would be better is if this stuff was mapped out. Let's put it on a map. Let's put it on a calendar so we can kind of see what's going on simultaneously, so we can plan out our day. Let's figure out kind of what's close to each other. Let's filter things by day and turn off some of these days so we can kind of only see what's going on the particular day that we're focused on right now. So that was what I set out to do a couple of weekends ago, and now I've been sort of filling up data. I still got about probably 40 more to put in. I think when it's all said and done, there'll be over 200 events in this thing, and I'll get that done today. These morning events I'm not going to be going to, so I'm going to, as soon as the stream's done, focus on getting those last 30 or 40 events in here and officially launch the app. But if you are going and hanging out during South by Southwest Interactive, like I say, which kicks off tomorrow, check it out. It is at sxfreesw.com. That is South by Free Southwest.com. sxfreesw.com. And share it with 3 friends who are coming to town or in town. Get the word out that I got a new tool here that is free. We don't collect any information, personal information. Don't ask for even as much as an email address. It's just a little side project that I'm doing for myself and for the benefit of other people traveling to town and or Austinites. So if you come into town, you're going for the conference specifically, you got a badge. You probably don't have a whole lot of time during the day when all the conference stuff is going on. But in the evenings, that's a different story. Everybody's got a badge, wants to go out and party. Well, there's a bunch of things. Tomorrow night, we got the startup crawl, always fun. That's Capital Factory. I'll definitely be there. House of Innovation. Coming into the weekend, lots of evening events going late into the night. Some of them go to 3 a.m. Holy mackerel. Yeah, people like to get their parties on during conferences. So, that's what we do. That's what we're going to be doing. Check that out, sxfreesw.com. The other thing I do is check the job postings every day. I get them from Indeed.com, and I graph them and chart them. I've been charting and graphing this data for over 300 days, coming up on a year, 3 years. This year I'll be doing it for 3 years, come the fall. And the goal of it is to not to get the absolute final number of all the jobs posted on a specific day, but to get a trend line. Indeed.com has 15 to 20% of all the jobs posted on their platform, and that is statistically significant enough to get a trend line, and that's our goal. Are there more job postings today than there were a week ago? Well, let's look at this graph. This graph tells us in the last week there's a nice uptick there. If we look at the last 6 months, we'll see that that nice uptick is really just part of a really kind of a flat trend, but it kind of bottomed out about 10 days ago, and now we're just kind of regaining some of that. And today the numbers went down just a little bit, so there's going to be some ups and downs in this process, but hopefully overall we want to see that kind of up into the right trend line. In the last year, it is definitely slight downturn, but a lot of that is due to the numbers in the spring, which we're hoping to see duplicated. We're hoping to see these numbers tick up. Having said that, we've got some headwinds right now. Boy, a lot of layoff announcements at the government level, IRS. If they're truly shutting down the Department of Education, that's going to be a lot of people out of a job. The VA announced yesterday that they were going to be cutting 72,000 jobs nationwide. I don't know how many of those are programmers. Maybe some of them, for sure. If you're cutting out a whole department, that department's definitely got some programmers in there. I don't have words. I also check the numbers in a more granular way, including remote work and at different levels of experience. So if we look at all of the JavaScript jobs in the United States, again, we came out of the holidays like a rocket, then kind of flattened out. But in general, that trend line is doing good. The red line here is remote work. Again, even with all this talk of return to office, and my wife, who works for the state government as an attorney, she got notice yesterday that she had been on flex, and they're stopping that. They're having her come into the office every day. But great for productivity, I would say, for her job in particular. But these are the winds that are blowing through government right now, for sure. A lot of return to office talk. When we look at the breakdown of entry-level, mid-level, and senior-level roles, all these are still kind of up and to the right. Red level is mid-level, red line is mid-level, yellow is senior, and blue is entry-level positions. Again, if you're trying to break into this industry, it is more challenging. There's no doubt about it. But we also live in a time where pre-pandemic, this blue line of entry-level remote work here would have been almost nothing. It's not nothing anymore. It's something. So, if you are in Austin, Texas, and somebody has a job in St. Petersburg, Florida, and they're open to remote workers, you can apply for that job, right? So it's not just your local zip code anymore that you can look for jobs in. And generally speaking, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. We like that. Uh, Knowledge workers in general, but programmers in specific really benefit from remote work for a couple of different reasons. One, we are, by our nature, we benefit from being able to do focused, deep work. Not everybody can focus at their house. It's absolutely true. There can be a lot of distractions in your house. And if you're that person, or if you're an extrovert and you go crazy, stir crazy in an environment where you don't have other people around, not a good space for you, for sure. But most programmers, they tend to be a little more introverted. They tend to be a little bit more, have the ability to sort of focus. And then programming in general is generally pretty easy to track whether you're doing your job or not, because you're checking in code every day. And it's pretty straightforward for somebody who's managing a team of programmers to look at the code you're checking in and going like, yeah, you're using your time effectively. You're squashing bugs. You're adding new features. You're working with other team members to develop new products. Uh, yes, there are some jobs where you can kind of phone it in, and certainly there are some programming jobs where you can phone it in too, but by and large, if you want to be on top of your programmers and make sure that they're being efficient working remotely, you can do that. Absolutely can do that. Uh, Not all jobs or roles are like that, but programming is one of those that benefits from a little quiet time, less meetings. One of the questions I always ask when I was in the job search, it's been a number of years, 4 or 5 years since I've had to do an interview, but one of the questions I always ask, they always say, hey, you have any questions for me? If it's a technical person, if it's a programmer, if I'm in the late stages of the interview process, first question out of my mouth is, how much time do you spend in meetings? And do you relegate those meetings to a specific window of the day? Because we programmers, we need heads down, focused time to do our work. And if every 45 minutes or an hour, somebody wants to break it up with a 15-minute meeting, whether it's Zoom these days or in person, doesn't matter. Like, that is not conducive to me getting a lot of work done. Task switching in particular is not good for knowledge work. So, yeah, jury's still out. We got a lot of uncertainty in the market right now, but we can see new applications are going out every day. New postings are going out every day, and we only need one job. That's the thing. When we look at this, over 100 remote job postings for JavaScript developers were posted yesterday just on Indeed. They're 15 to 20% of the market. So you can multiply that times 5. You're not going to be getting out 500 job applications in every day. You're not going to do it, right? Not all of them would be appropriate anyway, but if you get 20 out every day consistently, again, you only need one. So that's what we're here for, to be your accountability person, to be the hang that you need, the voice in your ear while you're focused on getting those job applications out. I also, check in on LinkedIn several times a day. I do that because this is where people look for jobs. They have their own job board. This is where headhunters are out looking for people. It's where connections are made and you can reach out to other people when you're in the job market, like this Kevin Jenkins, who looks like he is open for work today. I don't know Kevin. I don't think I know Kevin. But they also have this little news feed. So hours ago, market's been down all week because of the talk of Mexico and Canada tariffs. Looks like they're backtracking like they've done on other tariffs recently. I hadn't heard this yet, so this is new and fresh. They're delaying tariffs for automakers, which, again, the auto industry's got a lot of lobbyists, so they went to work looking for a carve out. OpenAI preps $20,000 AI agents. That's interesting. Layoffs surge on Doge cuts. This is what we're talking about. That's 3 minutes ago. Walmart seeks price cuts from China. Yep. The Chinese tariffs are definitely not going to be rolled back immediately, so we'll see what happens there. Canadian stores drop Jack Daniels. Again, in this pissing contest that is international trade. It's going to see a lot of this stuff. Starbucks CEO to staff, step it up. My brother worked many decades ago. My brother worked at Starbucks. I'm curious if he got free coffee. Maybe you're making them pay for their own coffee and they just need to be more caffeinated. I don't know. Yep, the VA to cut 70,000 jobs. Oil prices tumble amid tariff woes. LA sues Southern California Edison over the Eaton fire. FIFA plotting its own halftime show. Okay. Don't so much care about that. Let's see what we got here. U.S. automakers will be given 1 month reprieve. 1 month reprieve from new tariffs on Mexican and Canadian inputs, the White House announced on Wednesday. The reversal followed a meeting between the administration officials and the heads of the auto giants, citing anonymous sources. Industry group the American Automotive Policy Council had previously argued that the tariffs would undermine U.S. competitiveness and stymie investment in the American workforce. There's a lot of these conspiracy theories going around that that Tesla is not a car because they completely rebuilt the automaking process from the ground up. All the traditional automakers, they get their parts made, assembled, in Canada and Mexico in different processes. So I saw one report about pistons for a traditional ICE engine that had to cross the border 6 or 7 times in the process of going from just raw steel into a finished part. And they created this process that for the traditional automakers was the most efficient way to do that. But Tesla doesn't do that. They're electric. They don't need as many parts because their engines aren't as complex. So they don't have to do that same sort of milling, polishing, prepping process. And so there's these conspiracy theories floating around that this tariff was also there to give Tesla a boost by knocking out some of the competition, making the competition more expensive. All just conspiracy theories, of course, but interesting things to consider and talk about. OpenAI is readying a new artificial intelligence agent that will be priced between $2,000 and $20,000 a month, accelerating its application business, reports the information, citing anonymous sources. These agents will perform specialized tasks that typically require human expertise and come in varying tiers, from high-income knowledge workers to PhD-level agents that can perform automatic coding and test hypotheses. Sources expect the product will drive 20 to 25% of total revenue. It's one thing to say, I'm going to charge $200 a month, and your company that's got 20,000 employees, you should buy, 10,000 seats of this and get everybody using it every day. With the hype cycle alone, you can make a bunch of those sales. But if you go to a business and you go, I'm going to be charging you $20,000 a month, man, that thing better work. It better show some results. It better not be hallucinating very much. $20,000 a month. I mean, what PhD's making $20,000 a month? I mean, I guess there are, but yeah. That sources expect the product will drive 20-25% of total revenue. Major investor SoftBank has already committed $3 billion towards agent products. Yeah, again, you can say that, you can make a headline, you can put out a press release and say we're committing $3 billion, but if this thing doesn't do $20,000 worth of work every month, or really $40,000 or $60,000 worth of work every month for $20,000, that commitment's going to kind of disappear pretty dang quickly. All right, we're coming to the end of it. Let's do one more story, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. Layoffs surge. Layoffs rose 245% in February compared to the month prior, according to data released Thursday by the outplacement firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. What is that? Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. They're just picking three words out of a bucket to name their firm. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. Okay. Of the roughly 172,000 people who were let go last month, more than one-third, or 60,000, lost their jobs to cuts by the Department of Government Efficiency, led by billionaire Elon Musk. The monthly total is the highest since July of 2020. We know what was going on in July of 2020. And also the highest figure since February of 2009, when the company was grappling with the global financial crisis. SCOTUS slapped down their attempts to make the cuts to USAID yesterday. It's one thing to say, you're all laid off. It's another thing to cut budgets to support that. A lot of this stuff is going to be tied up in the courts for the next year. So who knows how many of these people are going to end up, either getting their job back or, getting back pay. They went and found another job, but the lawsuits will finally settle, and the government's going to end up giving them all the back pay that they should have gotten when they were, wrongly let go. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we're getting down to it. One more plug for my app. Again, if you are in Austin and you're traveling to Austin for South by Southwest, next 9 days are going to be busy. And my job is to make it more efficient by creating this app. I created this app called SXFREESW.com. That is South by Free Southwest.com, and it is a listing of all of the free events in and around town. There's some other events that only badge holders who've paid over $1,000 for a badge can get into. This is not those. This is not those. There are some other events that charge money, $100, $200, $400 to get into an event. This is not those either. This is just the free events around town, conveniently mapped out and put on a calendar so you can kind of see when and where they are and plan out your day for the next 9 days of the craziness that is South by Southwest. Check it out, share it with your friends, and we will be right back here in 23 hours and 30 minutes to do this all over again. I will be starting probably tomorrow, also talking about the things that I'm going to be doing around South by Southwest. If anybody wants to meet up in person, I'll probably be doing a couple of these things today, but not immediately. I've got to get some more data into my app here before it finishes. But check it out, share it with your friends, and I will be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, to hang out with you while you get your job application.